everybody, welcome back to another managed training session. Today we're going to be running through how to add a property into the system, how to add an owner and activate an owner in the system, as well as reviewing the property profile. So to get kick-started adding a property into the system, what you're going to do is you're going to find your properties tab on the left hand side of your page, click that through, and then you're going to choose add a property in the top right hand corner. You're going to have to fill out all of the red asterisk required fields in the system. So starting off with your agency, choosing your agency, property type, we have two options available, either residential or commercial. So I'm going to just choose residential. Management gained reason as well. You have your option to choose from a variation of preset figures. You also have the ability as well to add in additional information as well. Further below, this is where you're going to add in your street address. So you have two options to add in the street address. You can do so manually by typing in the address here, or you can do it under the search feature, which is powered by Google, and it's going to auto-populate the information and pop it in the different fields once you start typing the address in. Right hand side, you've got your features, making sure that you stick to those red asterisks. So you've got your bed, your bath, your car. You also need to choose your property category, and then as well you have those additional informations if you want to choose it. Noting that this will appear on the property's overview, so the owner and the tenant can also see which options you select here too. Going down below is where you add your owner details. So you've got two options how the property is owned, either personally or in a company or trust. Personally, you just need to put your first, last, email and mobile number, but when you choose company or trust, you do have that additional information linked to the business that you need to put in, like your ABC, ACN, ABN, company name, as well as the primary owner linked to the business. So for the purpose of this, I'm just going to choose personally. Popping the first name, last name, email address, and then mobile number. Going into your agency fees next, so starting with your management fee, just really important, and it has that note there below that if GST is in the fee, you need to add it on top. So if it was 6.6%, I need to make sure that I'm adding 6.6. If it's 6% plus GST, that's still 6.6%. Your letting fee, now you've got two options to choose from for your letting fee, either a percentage of annual rent or week's rent. So say for example, week's rent, I charge a 1.5 week letting fee. I'm going to put in 1.5. Same with my lease renewal. It's based on week's rent and it's only half a week's rent that I put in. I'm just going to put 0.5. Advertising fee, you're going to enter in that information. So you might be charging that figure, pop that amount there. You have the ability to put in approved maintenance spend without authorization. So if you have the ability to complete repairs on behalf of the owners up to a certain price limit, you can put that amount here too. Finally, admin fee. If you charge an admin fee, yes or no. If not, you can pop a 0. If not, if you do, you can pop in that figure. So it might be $6.50, for example, that you charge. You also can charge that admin fee if or if not it's vacant. You have that option to choose. Once you've entered in all of that information, you're going to come up with additional information that you can add. So firstly, the next thing that you can do is add an owner. So if you have two owners on the property, you can click an add an owner button, choosing the first name, last name, email. If it's already an existing owner in the system, you can just type in their email address and it will pre-populate the additional data. Save that down. You can add an image for your property profile. It's really handy to add an image. It just makes it on the tenant and the owner's perspective as well. When they log into their account, they get to see a picture of the property, which is just a nice little touch to have. If your top property is strata titled, you have the ability to enter in all of those strata details as well as your bylaws, and then a key tracker number too. So adding in a key number and who has those keys, you can update it accordingly as well. Going back to our ownership details, so as you can see at the moment, I have added my owner Megan into the system. Right now, there's an exclamation point, and what that means is I've added that owner into the system, but I actually haven't invited them yet. So to invite an owner into the system, what you need to do is click their property or their owner profile, select edit under financials. See how it says awaiting invite? That means we haven't actually sent an invitation to them. We're going to send it by clicking the send invitation button. Once that invitation has been sent, it will appear as blue, meaning that they've been invited. Once they are actually active, they've added their email address, they've created a password, entered their details, and created an actual active profile, that will then appear as green. Under the owner's profile as well, you do have the ability to add in agency notes and any additional information, date of birth, address. You also can change their notification settings as well by ticking and unticking items. Saving that down. Once an owner is in the system, you can also see all of the different properties under their owner card linked to them. So they might have multiple properties, which would all appear here. It does also show as well their disbursement. So if they have an account set or not for how their rent is going to get dispersed to them, as well as it will give information on how they're paying any bills. It might say that they're paying via rent. It might be that they're paying via credit card or a bank account. It will show that information here. Moving back to that owner profile under the property card, you can also change the owner's shared percentage. So if I owned a property, or Megan and Gabby own this property together, I can enable split payments. So I can click this enable split payments button in the top right hand corner, and I can choose the percentage of ownership share. Now, the really important thing and beautiful thing about having this is that Megan and Gabby might have separate payments or separate bank accounts where they wish for the money to go to. Every owner has the ability to add in their own bank account details. They have their own profile because, say for example, for my owner Gabby already has multiple investments. So she's got multiple investments with all different percentages and places money needs to go to. So the reason that we allow and put the owners to have the bank account details set up on their side is because they are managing their money. They might have different places where all of their money are going to. It's best for them to enter in their account details specifically on where they want it to go, and they have that flexibility to do so at any time, which is the beauty about having our system managed, is that they can log in at any time of the day, change their payments. If they, change banks or whatnot, they can log in and make those changes at any time. So yes, you do have the ability to add multiple owners and then different share percentages as well. Now going to the property profile. So your property profile is got a sections of different tabs. So as you can see, I've got the overview section, lease, tasks, transactions, inspections, reports. Overview gives an overview of the property as well as ownership information. It also gives agency information, fees and authorities. You have the ability to upload all of your managing agency agreement or landlord documents that you need to do so. You also have an audit log. So at any point in time, you need to see if any changes have been made from the system or if anyone has completed any actions. There's an audit log. The lease tab is where all of the tenancy details will be found, as well as the lease information, the tenant cards, all of their documents. That's found under the lease tab. I do have a specific video on how to add a tenant into the system. The task tab is where you find all of the communication. So if you have a bill that needs to be entered in, if you need to add a maintenance task or a general question and query, routine inspections, anything that is a task-based item, an actionable step that requires the owner, the property manager, the tenant, anything regarding the property, communication-wise, can be found under the task tab. The transactions tab is where you can see all of the payments. I have a specialized video as well on the transactions tab, how to read that, what all of the information entails, which can be found as well on our YouTube video. Inspections is where all of the routines, ingoings, outgoings, reports can be found. Reports is where all of your monthly statements and end of financial years can be found as well. That is a basic information and run through on the properties tab, how to add a property into the system, how to add an owner and invite an owner into the system, as well as the different property cards and all of the variations to a property profile as well.